Smoke. It was inspired by James 1:19, which is be slow to speak and quick to listen. And I feel like that was God's tender way of telling me to shut up, kind of get quiet and listen to him. My life was really noisy, and I'm a talker. And so I feel like the commotion and the noise and the busyness of my life sort of drowned out his voice, and so I couldn't hear him say no, and I couldn't hear him say stop, and I couldn't hear him give me some piece of advice that I should have taken, and our life went up in flames. And my favorite part of the song is in the bridge, and there's just this moment of worship that happens that if you think of smoke, it's not breathable, and the ash that it leaves behind is worthless. But when God breathes redemption into something, that smoke becomes oxygen, and that ash becomes beauty. And so my understanding of redemption is beauty from ashes, and so that's my life now. I'm remarried to my husband. We have a completely new life, a new heart, a new everything. And so I get emotional every time. And we left the stage the last time we played it just a couple weeks ago. We left stage and all of us just cried in the dressing room of just how good God is. And so it's my favorite. It's really it's refreshing to know that you can always begin again. And I didn't leave, but I definitely have a new heart. And in the early years of what I did, I was having fun because of redemption. I don't have a lot of regret. But the girl that you knew back in 1997 was completely self-absorbed and narcissistic and was in it for the wrong reasons. And when I came to the end of myself and I turned my back on Christian radio, I turned my back on all kinds of things. It was amazing to me and very ironic that I was in my kitchen, and I've had the privilege of telling this story a few times because it's just a beautiful story, that I was in my kitchen, and we lived out in the country at the time, and one of the only radio stations that would come in to our house was a Christian radio station, and I had that on, and my husband had left and he wasn't coming back, and he had no intentions of coming back, I should say. And the house was way bigger than we had any business owning, and he was gone, and it was lonely. And Aaron Schust came on the radio singing "My Hope Is in You" all the day long. I won't be shaken by drought or storm. And there I was in a hurricane. And then Matthew West came on and it said "Strong Enough." And then Mandisa came on singing "Stronger." And then third day, "I Need a Miracle." And then sang to Sriel, "Lead Me." One after the other, it was like oxygen to my lungs. And so I had kind of a split moment of just humility and hope. It was the first time I'd really felt hopeless in my whole life. And in that moment, I was receiving hope from these songs. God was using them to give me hope, and I realized that's oxygen. Like, we all need to breathe, and hope is oxygen, and there's always hope. And we're suffocating sometimes, not realizing that there is. And then the humility came in when I realized I've been a part of an industry that's been giving a very negative, seemingly hopeless world positivity and hope. But I thought I was too cool for it, and I turned my back on it. And in my darkest moment, that's what was there for me. And so I just begged God's forgiveness and just said, no matter what happens in my marriage, no matter what happens from this moment forward, forgive me, and I'll do whatever you ask. And so here I am, and I feel like this is redemption of God saying you can have a second chance. In fact, you can have an infinite amount of chances because I'm God and I love you. And so I don't know, it's just kind of I'm not her anymore, and if I could go back and talk to her, I would tell her to quit being so selfish, but thankful that there's redemption. So thanks for asking that.